Hello world, RJ Carter here, and first video on YouTube. So I want to talk about a few concepts and kind of the duality and the paradox of things. Once you start reading a lot of information, you kind of get to a point where it actually is a contradiction, and there's two extremes. And a lot of people would say, the middle path is the best path, but to get into the subject, it's basically about women, and there's kind of two extremes, especially when you get into the esoteric knowledge of women and stuff like that, and kind of get into the concepts of Taoism as well as Buddhism, and kind of mainstream concepts as well, from like the art of seduction to the simple biological factors of we're kind of made here as animals, and the points of life is to reproduce in a sense. And I want to bring a book. It's called Bachelor Economics. Kind of talking about how it's actually very natural to be attracted as a male to women and want to, engage with them, want to be friends with them, want to make them laugh, this, that, and the third. And then once you get into the esoterics of it, it's like, okay, and on the Buddhist spectrum, they would say that, we see women, a lot of sages as well, as, walking piles of shit and piss. So you can withhold your seed and your vital essence and what have you, and not reproduce if you want to look at it from the Gnostic and Gnosis standpoint. But on a different scale, it's kind of like desire. Like if you want a girlfriend, you're gonna have a girlfriend. And if you don't, you're kind of cheating yourself and stuff like that. And then that's when we get to the contradictions. And then we have the Taoist techniques. With the Taoist talking about how you use it's kind of a mixture of the mainstream, like reproducing whatever, as well as mixed in with the Tao, or the Buddhism, I should say. Withholding your seed, but also procreating. So the Taoism, you can say that is the middle path, the middle of both extremes, and but either way, whatever path you choose is very interesting subject in and of itself. And I think Robert Greene said it best. No matter how much knowledge, understanding, wisdom, perspective, as a male, you're not going to understand females, and as females, as a woman, you're not truly going to understand a man, their motives, their interactions, their hobbies, their interests. Biologically speaking, you could spend a whole entire lifetime. Most people do, and I think a lot of people, they kind of make it simple. They say either avoid women or get married to one. And then also too, I forgot about the Bible, but when you get into the aspects of the Bible, and I think this is probably the truest version out of all of them, they would say, or if you were to live a biblical life, they would argue that, having several wives is the way, and having one man. And I was thinking too, like, truth be told, if I could go back in time, I would love to have like five wives. Like that'd be like the dopest thing. Like who would it? You know what I'm saying? Like if you could get like the five bombest girls you've ever met in your lifetime, I mean why not? But kind of getting back, and it's been a question for me as well. Growing up, I haven't really talked to a lot of girls per se. If we get to another perspective, and actually too, this actually brings up another piece of information, kind of like the XXX, kind of relating to the Bible and that mythology, or religion, or whatever you want to call it, but the concept of the devil as well. And the sign of the beast is XXX. And what is, or 666. And I don't know, somewhere for some reason, I think it was a video, it was like 666 actually equals XXX for whatever meaning or what have you. Even though, well, just go with me on this one. So basically, what the idea is the devil is actually the lower version, and it kind of plays in with the chakra system to where, pornography and stuff like that, it actually is the root chakra. And the Taoists would say, pornography is evil, it messes up your mental capacity, science would agree as well. So, in a sense, that is the aspects of lust and greed and envy and stuff like that. It all plays in, but to not get off on a too much tangents, kind of bring it back. It all, it's a lot of different ways you could look at women and stuff like that. And I think of Buddha, there's a quotes, and I mean, there's a lot of Buddhas, and I'm not too sure if this is actually by him, but the basic idea would be, don't look at women, don't speak to them, avoid them at all costs. Spend your time in the mountains and meditate. But is that lifestyle, is that version truly for everybody? And more importantly, is that actually the truth? Is that the set foundation? And who knows? And truth be told, kind of playing with the Bible, that kind of seems like the knowledge and perspective and understanding of the fallen angels. Because the fallen angels and the devils and the demons, or let's say the devil himself, he wouldn't want humanity to procreate. If you follow the biblical version, and I'm not too sure, but the idea, I think most people would agree, Satan did not want to love man as much as God. Whatever the version, a lot of people agree Satan does not like human beings, right? Or Christians at least. And so, the idea that, to stop procreation, to stop existence, which kind of goes, complete opposite um, from the Genesis version of Yahweh stating that, be fruitful and multiply. So, you have a version that, the creator says be fruitful and multiply, and then the opposite is, don't procreate at all. And it's your choice too. And I would even argue that if you didn't have sex, if you were a man and you didn't have sex and you didn't talk to women, you didn't speak to women, you would actually be pretty free. You would have, I think a lot of, men would agree, you'd have a lot of free time. You would, you could be a sage, you could, be an artist, you could be a master in your own trade. You have a lot of free time, a lot of money. You'd get into your hobbies more. All you really would have to do or get to do is work, pay your bills, and use that free time and stuff like that to, create projects and be a master in your own right. And at the same time, there's the opposite spectrum of being, the guy with 7 wives or whatever. So, to bring it kind of full circle, each way is an infinite path. It's like an infinite regress in a sense of knowledge and understanding, and it's never ending as well. And does man ever find the answers as far as woman goes? I'm not too sure. And from that scale, from that perspective, I've kind of learned too that the best thing to do is just keep it simple, keep it sane, keep it something that you could understand. If you like a girl, she looks good, and you could go up to her and you could talk to her, why not? But it does make it hard when you have like the Taoist mixed within the Buddhism, mixed within the Christianity view, and you have all these different techniques, and you actually kind of get lost, at least from my perspective, kind of lost in the knowledge and stuff like that. But it is what it is, and from that scale, to the people out there, it's a lot of people would argue that women are gods, women, even Buddha, in the Taoist book, Buddha himself. This is interesting too. So Buddha, there's a saying that Buddha stated, don't look at women, see women as walking piles of shit and piss, this, that, and the third. But there's also another spectrum saying man should always be in thought of women. Women are gods. Women are life. So then again, you have the two extremes. What is the middle path? What is the right choice? This, that, and third. And then Buddha, another quote by Buddha, would basically say, and the caveat here, of course, it's not the Buddha, everybody's Buddha, but there's a little bit of truth, a little bit of understanding in every quote, I like to believe. But to get back, there's another saying, it's like, don't listen to anything that I say. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you and apply it. Have your own knowledge, but if it doesn't make sense to you, then let it go, let it be. And kind of quote Bruce Lee, he would say that use whatever works and throw away whatever doesn't. So from this life, I'm actually kind of getting more into, because I've spent a lot of time alone, and when you spend so much time alone, you understand yourself, but at the same time, you're lonely, because at the end of the day, truth be told, all I want to do is like hang out at the beach or whatever, right? With some pretty girls, have a barbecue, this, that, and the third. So kind of get into the art of seduction, and it's very interesting, and it is very much an art. It is, and also too like the actual talking of women, the actual ability to persuade them, to conversate with them, the journey that comes to getting them quote unquote in bed or having that girl be your girlfriend from not knowing her at all. It's a very magical journey. It's a very special journey, and also too, that's probably the best part is when you first see a girl, when you first talk to her, when you first meet her, when you first get to know her, and kind of playing what Alan once would say, everything gets worse over time. So it's like the first initial meeting, that's like the best part. And then over time, kind of dilutes itself. And I would even argue the best time um, is in middle school or high school. But who knows? The more knowledge you gain, the more understandings you gain. It kind of brings it away. And also too, when you're in the moment, it kind of takes away all the delusions of all these philosophies and stuff like that. So it's actually better to be in the moment, talk to girls, stuff like that. But to end it off, looking to talk more about it, but kind of give a short video of different topics, different perspectives, different aspects and avenues of research as far as the perspective of women from male, from religious standpoint, philosophical, theological, and even just the simple biology. We're made to reproduce, and that might be the ultimate truth. But truth be told, I don't know the ultimate truth, and that's why we always keep looking for it. And until next time. Peace.